Do you know the latest developments in the search for Madeleine McCann? Have you ever wondered if this long-running mystery has finally been solved? The disappearance of Madeleine McCann has gripped the world for over a decade, sparking countless investigations, theories, and public appeals. Despite extensive efforts by law enforcement agencies from multiple countries and the tireless campaigning by her parents, the mystery remains unsolved. Let's jump into the details that what exactly happened to Madeleine McCann, what new evidence has surfaced in her case, and how close are authorities to uncovering the truth. Stay with us and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Madeleine Beth McCann, a British child who went missing at the age of 3 from her bed in a holiday apartment in Praia da Luz, Lagos, Portugal, on the evening of the 3rd of May, 2007. Madeleine was on holiday with her parents, Kate and Jerry McCann, her 2-year-old twin siblings, and a group of family friends and their children. The children spent the morning in the resort's kids club. The family lunched at their apartment before heading to the pool. At 2:29 that afternoon, Kate took the last known photograph of Madeleine, sitting by the pool next to her father and 2-year-old sister. At 18 o'clock, Kate brought them back to their apartment while Jerry went for a tennis lesson. The McCanns put the children to bed around 19 o'clock. At 20:30, the parents left their apartment, 5A, to dine with friends at the Ocean Club's open-air tapas restaurant located on the other side of the pool. Although the restaurant was about 55 meters, 180 feet, away from the apartment. The top of the apartment was visible from the tapas restaurant, but not the doors. The resort staff had left a note in a message book at the swimming pool reception area, asking for the same table overlooking the apartments to be reserved for the McCanns and friends each evening at 20:30. The note mentioned that the group's children were asleep in the apartments. Kate later speculated that the abductor might have seen this note. The McCanns and their friends left the restaurant roughly every half hour to check on their children. Jerry conducted the first check at around 21:05. He found the children asleep, though he noticed the children's bedroom door, which he had left slightly ajar, was now almost wide open. He pulled it nearly closed before returning to the restaurant. Around 21:15, Jane Tanner, one of the Tapas 7, left the restaurant to check on her own daughter. She saw a man carrying a young child near the McCann's apartment. The man was walking east away from the apartment. Tanner described him as white, dark-haired, 5 feet 7 and 1.70 m tall, of Southern European or Mediterranean appearance, wearing gold or beige trousers and a dark jacket. The child he was carrying wore light-colored pink pajamas with a floral pattern and cuffs, similar to Madeleine's. Tanner informed the Portuguese police of this sighting immediately, but they did not release the description to the media until the 25th of May. Scotland Yard later identified the man as a British tourist who had been carrying his daughter from the Ocean Club night creche. At around 22 o'clock, Kate made her own check on 5A. Entering through the unlocked patio doors, she noticed the children's bedroom door was wide open. When she tried to close it, it slammed shut as though there was a draft, revealing that the bedroom window and its shutter were open. Madeleine's cuddle cat and blanket were still on the bed, but Madeleine was gone. Jerry sent Matthew Oldfield, one of the Tapas 7, to ask the resort's reception desk to call the police. 2 officers from the Guardia Nacional Republicana, GNR, arrived at the resort at 23:10 from Lagos. By midnight, after a brief search, they alerted the criminal police, the Policia Judiciaria, PJ, in nearby Portimao. Police officers had their leave canceled and began searching waterways, wells, caves, sewers, and ruins around Praia da Luz. The handling of the so-called golden hours immediately after Madeleine's disappearance was widely criticized for numerous mistakes. Descriptions of Madeleine were not given to border or marine police for many hours, and house-to-house searches were not conducted across the doorway of the children's bedroom, but left at 3 o'clock without securing the entire apartment. The PJ case file, released in 2008, revealed that apartment 5A remained empty for a month after the disappearance before being let out to tourists again and then sealed off in August 2007 for further forensic tests. In the United Kingdom, Leicestershire Police, led by Chief Constable Matt Baggett, coordinated the British response. Although the investigation remained a Portuguese inquiry, a strategic coordinating group was formed, including representatives from Leicestershire Police, the Serious Organized Crime Agency, SOCA, the Child Exploitation and Online Protection Center, CEOP, and the National Police Improvement Agency, NPIA. The British police were accustomed to using the Home Office Large Major Inquiry System, HOMES 2, for data collection, while in Portugal, information was collected in boxes. 12 days after Madeleine's disappearance, Robert Murat, a 34-year-old British-Portuguese property consultant, became the first official suspect. Living with his mother in Casa Liliana, just 150 yards from apartment 5A, Murat was named a suspect after a journalist reported his unusual interest in the case to the Portuguese police, PJ. Despite his offer to help as an interpreter due to his fluency in Portuguese and personal interest, suspicions grew when some of the McCann's friends claimed to have seen him near the apartment on the night Madeleine vanished. Murat and his mother denied these claims, stating he had been at home all evening. The PJ conducted thorough searches of Murat's home, drained his pool, and examined his cars, computers, and videotapes. His garden was also searched with ground radar and sniffer dogs, but no evidence linked him to the disappearance. Despite this, his home was searched again during Operation Grange in 2014, and he and his associates faced further questioning. In the days leading up to Madeleine's disappearance, witnesses described various men behaving oddly near apartment 5A, which raised suspicions of reconnaissance for an abduction or burglary. There was a notable increase in burglaries in the area, including 2 in the McCann's block. Media and police suspicions toward the McCanns grew over time. The inconsistencies in their statements about how they entered the apartment and the lack of forced entry suggested to some that there had been no abduction. Following a suggestion by the McCanns, South African former police officer Donnie Krugel was involved in the search, leading to an extensive investigation by the PJ. Britons met the British Home Secretary Alan Johnson in 2009 to request a review of the case. Johnson commissioned a scoping report from Jim Gamble of CEOP. By March 2010, the Home Office had begun discussions with the Association of Chief Police Officers, ACPO, about setting up a British inquiry. Delivered in May 2010, the Gamble report criticized the lack of coordination among several British agencies involved in the search for Madeleine. Gamble recommended renewed cooperation between the British and Portuguese authorities, exchange of all relevant information, analysis of telephone calls made on the night of the disappearance, and pursuit of all leads. By 2019, DCI Redwood stated that Operation Grange was investigating a criminal act by a stranger, most likely a planned abduction or a burglary that Madeleine had disturbed. The possibility of Madeleine wandering off and being abducted by a passerby or falling into a nearby construction site was also considered but deemed unlikely. Using mobile phone tracking techniques, police traced calls and texts near the Ocean Club on the night of Madeleine's disappearance. Interviews with individuals linked to these calls did not yield any conclusive evidence. Police also investigated Euclides Montero, a former Ocean Club worker whose cell phone was used near the resort that night. Montero had been previously questioned about break-ins involving the sexual assault of children, but had been cleared by DNA evidence. Scotland Yard issued an appeal in March 2014 for information about a man who had entered holiday homes and assaulted young girls in the Algarve region between 2004 and 2006. The PJ believed the intruder in these incidents was Montero. German police linked his cell phone to the vicinity of Madeleine's disappearance. A British woman reported that Brueckner had mentioned having a horrible job in Praia da Luz the night before Madeleine's abduction. Brueckner's car was registered to a new owner the day after Madeleine disappeared. German investigators believe it is possible that Brueckner killed Madeleine near the Arad Dam and disposed of her body in the water. Other inquiries involve searching through images from pedophile investigations and questioning British pedophiles. Investigators looked into Raymond Hewlett, who had allegedly made statements about knowing what happened to Madeleine, but retracted them before dying of cancer. Scotland Yard also investigated 2 pedophiles running a window cleaning service in the Canary Islands and a Northern Irish man living in Carvoeiro at the time of Madeleine's disappearance. Operation Grange also focused on Urs Hans von Esch, implicated in the 2007 murder of Jelenia Lenhard in Switzerland. Von Esch, living in Spain when Madeleine disappeared, was considered a person of interest. In June 2016, officers interviewed an alleged victim of Clement Freud, who was accused of child sexual abuse and had befriended the McCanns in Praia da Luz. Freud's family stated he was in the UK when Madeleine went missing. The investigation into Madeleine McCann's disappearance has been extensive, involving multiple agencies and international cooperation. Despite numerous leads and inquiries, Madeleine's whereabouts remain unknown, and the case continues to be one of the most high-profile missing person cases in recent history. That's all for this video. We hope you have found this video informative and interesting. What are your thoughts about this case? Let us know in the comments section. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon for more interesting videos like this. Thank you for watching our video.